Welcome to Viking Voices, the People of Princeton. Ornella, another edition.
Second episode.
Second episode that you're here with the co-host. Yes. That's awesome. So, we have so much stuff to talk about today. Our first guest, we're not going to introduce right now, but when you listen to this young lady, an author, only in the 5th grade.
That's crazy.
Ornella, when was the first book you wrote?
I haven't wrote a book.
You haven't read a book yet? Okay.
It's on my to-do list.
To-do list. All right. So we have a great, beautiful young author. It's going to be amazing, and we're going to, on top of everything else, we're going to introduce another huge award that we received and talk to a great principal and a teacher, and then we're going to really kind of have some crucial conversation around a new program that was supported by the principal of the high school, Mr. Ron Ballmer, and the staff, and most especially the students came together and formed a group called EPIC. We'll talk about that a little bit, but we're going to get into a couple details about the district. So hang tight while I share the screen. And boy, I tell you, it's been really, really exciting here. We've been doing a lot of great work here. And once I'm able to share my screen, that'll be great. So the people in tech land, if you could allow me to share my screen, that would be great. So before, I guess, we'll just go through real quick that some of you probably already knew, already heard, we received a lot of coverage on this. We received a $150,000 gift to help eliminate the digital divide that permeated our district. So again, we are so incredibly excited about being able to receive this from the Vineyard Church, the great people at Vineyard Church, tremendous business partners. They've been with us for quite some time. And again, it's just been simply amazing that we were able to receive this huge gift. On top of that, each year we participate in the Scholastics Art Competition. This year we had 37 winners, and we only had, in the region, there were only 5 gold key winners that were selected to go on to compete for even a higher award. Well, one of our own students, Jordan Robinson, was selected for the American Visions nominee. So when you look at that, what a huge award, and we're going to feature Jordan in an upcoming episode.
Congrats.
Now, Ornella, are you big into art other than poetry?
Yeah, you could say.
Okay. All right, so you have some of your friends that are in the art program. What do they say about the art program?
They love the art program. They say it's very, it drives them to do better. So I know a couple of my friends that they just love Princeton's art.
Yeah, the art department does such a wonderful job of recognizing kids and pushing kids to the highest level. And that's really what we want. So we're going to jump back right now, and I'd like to introduce a young lady, 5th grader, Giselle C Zell. Giselle, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Giselle, make sure if you can, talk a little bit louder so everybody can hear the great things you're getting ready to say. We want everybody to know a lot about you. So Giselle, tell us about this book you wrote.
Oh, so my book is about a girl named Zoe. She's lost in the forest, and when you read it, you'll find out where this journey will take her and who she will meet.
So what prompted you to write that book?
To inspire.
There you go. Oh, you muted yourself, honey.
I made this book to inspire young children that they can do anything they set their mind to, even if it's really hard.
That is awesome. That's awesome, you know?
That's amazing. So what made you decide to become an author, Giselle?
What made me decide to become an author? What made me decide to become an author was because when I was in school in maybe about third grade, my teacher would always say that I had really good stories when we had to write essays or fantasy stories. And then, so the encouragement that I got from my teacher actually inspired me to write this book. And every day when we had little breaks, I would go in a corner, sit on a beanbag, and get my school laptop and just write, just write.
That's amazing. And I heard, which elementary school do you go to?
Glendale Elementary.
Oh, what type of activities do you like to do there, other than write, maybe?
I love learning.
You love learning. Hey, do we have? Are we going to see any other books coming out from you soon? What do you think? Do you have any other stories you want to write about?
Yes.
Can you give us a sneak peek? Is there anything that you want to share right now about the next book?
I'm working on my second book right now.
Okay, all right, going to keep it a little bit secret. I don't blame you. So, Giselle, the teachers encourage you to make sure that you're writing and you're learning at high levels. What message do you have for our teachers?
Keep teaching students because one day you might encourage them to do something amazing.
That's
Okay,
powerful.
that is powerful, isn't it? So, Giselle, Ornella is a great poet. And at the end of the show, we started this new segment called Siakam Speaks. It's Ornella Siakam. Siakam Speaks, and she gives some of her original poetry, and it's really, really powerful. And so we know that words are so incredibly powerful, and we feel tremendous that you, in 5th grade, wrote a book because you were encouraged by a teacher, making sure that kind of, stoking the fire within you to write, to tell stories, and all of that. So are you doing remote learning right now, or are you doing hybrid?
Right now I'm doing remote.
Okay. All right. And how's that going for you so far?
It was a little rough at first because you had to get used to the feel of like logging on to Zoom every day, but then I got the hang of it.
Okay.
I feel you, Giselle. I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah. So Giselle, is there anything that you want to share with anybody watching right now? There'll be thousands of people that will ultimately see this, whether right now or on video. So you have a chance right now to inspire people like you were inspired. So what do you have to say?
What I have to say is, if you are trying something, let's say writing a book, writing a movie, doing a TV show, it's going to be really hard at first, but all you have to do is keep going and you will succeed.
Giselle, the way you speak, I think you're a senior, just like me.
So good, wasn't it?
Yes.
So Giselle, I love what you said, making sure that whatever it is, you're going to have some challenges in life. And everything's not going to be perfect. But you have to be positive and you have to have that growth mindset, like I can do it, right? That's great. Well, Giselle, thank you so much for joining us. Viking Voices. Ornella, do you have any final?
I just want to say that you have so much potential, and I can't wait to hear about you 10 years from now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Giselle.
You're welcome.
All right, we're going to go to our next segment now. And we're very excited to make sure, we're very excited, but we are. So Springdale Elementary School, as we mentioned before, received the National School of Distinction. And that's specifically for closing achievement gaps. And Lisa Timbarge is their amazing principal. And we're going to have her on right now. Lisa, thank you for joining the show.
Well, good morning. I'm happy to join you this morning to talk about Springdale Elementary.
So Ornella has so many questions for you, but I'm going to jump in right now. And Lisa, for those people that don't know who you are, why don't you talk a little bit about who you are and which I know you love to do, just kidding. But talk a little bit about who you are and Springdale in general.
I am the proud principal at Springdale Elementary. This is my 4th year at Springdale, and Springdale just has an amazing staff. It's a pleasure to work with them and help serve our students.
And Springdale is what are the demographics like in Springdale?
Well, Springdale was named the most diverse elementary school in the state of Ohio last year. So it's an ever-changing demographic, and we're proud of our diversity and see that as one of our great strengths.
Yeah, there's no question. I talk about the tapestry of diversity in Princeton, and certainly Springdale embodies that when you look at Springdale, because Springdale was the top. I think Sharonville was a top at one point or 3. So the beautiful diversity all the way throughout Princeton is really a huge strength of ours. So Ornella, I know you had a question you wanted to ask.
So I came out of Springdale from way back when, so it's amazing to hear about the school that I used to go to. And I just wanted to ask a little bit about the award you guys got, because I heard it's an amazing award, but can you give me a little bit more information?
Sure. It's the Elementary and Secondary Education Act recognized us as a distinguished school, and we were chosen for our gap closing, which is that the achievement levels between groups is coming together instead of growing apart. So we're very pleased to have received this recognition. There were 2 schools in Ohio suggested and we are recognized, and we were the one recognized for gap closing.
Now, okay, so that's Ohio. So how many in the country were recognized?
There were 57 schools in the country recognized this year.
In the whole country?
In the entire country.
Wow.
And that's your former elementary school.
Isn't it great to say you went to Springdale?
Yeah. Now, we didn't know this, we didn't plan this, but Ornella, can you sing? Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Seriously, you could really sing that right now?
I can't sing, but
isn't that how it starts?
It is the Springdale spirit.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so Lisa, there's so many great things that you do. So really, let's talk a little bit about like what different strategies, did you apply to kind of help grow the school in the last 4 years?
Well, our staff collaborate to provide high quality instruction to all of our students. And then we really go over that data to monitor student growth. And when we see students aren't growing, we provide interventions for those students. Some of that intervention takes place during the day, but we also have opened up the computer lab before schools, so students can come in and work on their individual pathways. We have after school tutoring for students that may be struggling in math or reading. And then of course the district provides a summer school opportunity as well.
Well, that's tremendous. And we know it takes a lot of lifting to grow each student all the time. So what would you say are some of the big areas of empowerment that you guys, on top of what you just said, what are some areas that you feel like you really focused on so you can empower students for college, career, and life success?
Well, I think that one of the most important things we do is really develop a great sense of community at Springdale. Our teachers provide a lot of extracurricular activities like Girls on the Run, Corral. We had a book club, student council, talent show, the recycling program, where these students get to choose things that are of interest to them and form bonds with other students outside of the school day. It also provides a lot of leadership opportunities for students. And I feel like that gives them a chance to feel that sense of belonging that is the key to their success.
Yeah, Girls on the Run. Now, Ornella, are you familiar with Girls on the Run?
It might be a little new because I used to go to Princeton way back when.
I know you're so old.
I'm so old.
So are you even 18 yet?
Yeah, I just turned 18.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I can hear people singing happy birthday right now to you. When you look at like a program like Girls on the Run, it's about female empowerment. It is really something to behold. And, you know, seeing the girls out there and running and accomplishing their goals and talking about, you know, it's much more than running, right, Lisa?
Absolutely. It really is. There are a lot of life lessons that they learn, and that's a big part of the program. Every day they do a different lesson to empower our girls to be successful.
So Lisa, I know that we would have been getting ready to go to this huge conference, and being celebrated there. It would have been so great to have you and some of your staff and Tanya West-Wright, who does such an amazing job as an assistant superintendent for us, and to have me in the crowd, being a fan, taking pictures of you guys on stage. I know that's a little disappointing. I know we're still going to participate in a virtual conference, but it is something that's so different. But please know that, I know at the board meeting you got recognized. We talked about it a couple different times, but that award really is a great symbol of the great work that's been done, not only in Springdale though, right? I mean, it really has been a collaborative effort across the district. Can you talk about like your collaboration with other principals and how they've helped lifted you and vice versa?
Absolutely. We really do have a collaborative leadership team, and we have lots of opportunities to plan professional development. We visit other schools. We take our staff to visit other schools. We do the instructional rounds that allow teachers to get into other classrooms and see the great things that they're doing, which is really powerful. And all the staff really work together to plan lessons and improve. So it's a very supportive environment for everyone, that we have peers that we can collaborate with, and we're working to see that all Princeton students are succeeding.
So one of your peers, the Glendale Principal, how about Giselle? Is that not, I know that Karen Harton is so very proud of Giselle Cephas, but how about that? Was that
Absolutely. Yes, we're all proud of her, and sharing her accomplishments with our other students to give them some inspiration as well as to what their potential is and what they are able to achieve even at such a young age.
She's having a book signing February 5th, Ornella. Maybe we could arrange and
Can we be in attendance?
and get your book. Yeah, maybe we'll go over there. But also her book's available on Amazon too. And so Lisa, when you hear about a fifth grader, and you've had so many kids that have great accolades there, what does that do for you as a principal when you see somebody who following their passion and then something big like this happens?
Well, it's just great for a student to be recognized for all their effort, that she's put, her passion into this book, and that it's been published. It's just a fabulous thing for any student to see, and for her especially.
Excellent. Hey, Lisa, we're going to keep you on the line, and we're going to talk a little bit about EPIC. And then at 10:30, we have a little bit of a surprise coming, so we're excited about that. We're going to welcome back your teacher, Rachel Strom, who is a great teacher, and she's all over social media. I see her posts all the time. It's great staying connected. So she's going to join us in about 10 minutes or so. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Okay, so we're going to jump into third episode, or third, I guess, segment. Yep. So Ornella, talk a little bit about EPIC. First, tell people what EPIC stands for, and then I'm going to have some questions for you.
All right. So EPIC stands for Equitable Planning to Impact Change. And basically, it's a group of students that came together with some of the staff and decided that we want to see actual changes and have these uncomfortable conversations at school because it's necessary for change. And we started about in August, September, October-ish, and we've spent this time planning an event so that we can have these conversations with our teachers.
All right, so equitable, so when I hear equitable, I think a lot of different things, but equity to me is basically meeting people where they are and meeting their needs, and that looks different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So equitable impact.
Planning. Equitable planning.
Well, right, equitable planning, but the impact,
Mm-hmm.
right, is true equity,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you say equitable planning, what does that mean?
So we're trying to figure out ways, because like you said, it might be different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole point is so that we can have these conversations and figure out ways to then impact the change in different sections of the school.
Right. So the change that you want to have happen, you want it to be through the lens of equity. Okay. Dr. Phillips has done a great job of leading the charge with our equity team.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she had added a few words yesterday about all the words that you shared and what you want to see happen. She was so very proud. We're very proud of the great equity team that we have to really kind of, listen to students. But yesterday was a whole nother level for everybody in attendance. And there were, again, you said uncomfortable conversations, but they need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there are some big aha moments for staff? Like, boy, I didn't even think about that.
Actually, yes, because one of my closest teachers, like that I've been known for years, literally since my freshman year, he came and we had a long conversation. And I woke up to so many emails this morning of teachers like saying that that was something that they needed to hear. And it was just like, it was powerful, first of all. And it was just exciting to know that what we wanted is actually happening. People are actually listening to us.
Yeah, and it's so funny because we all, in education, we always think that we're listening to kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we're asking questions or whatever. Lisa, have you ever had that experience when, you know, you provide student voice, but then maybe the kids really wanted to say something else, but didn't say it?
Sure, I have, but it's nice when they come back afterwards and tell you so that you can bring their concerns to the group.
Yeah, so yesterday, Lisa, there were 4 great students that were on stage that shared stories on top of a staff member who shared a story and their own personal voice. And it was so powerful. And I think that when the staff heard that, it was almost like, I think it probably was personal. So people were like, there's no way I would ever say something like that. Or I didn't mean it to come out that way. And I think the recognition and the understanding of the impact of what we say, that's why I skipped right to impact, because impact is so, that is what happened yesterday. It was, you have to have that impact. So talk a little bit about what's going to come up with EPIC. What's next?
So we are trying to figure out different plans, like events that we can have with teachers, where we can have these conversations with teachers, like one-on-one, more personable, instead
Sure.
of like a presentation style, where we have more personable conversations. Activities, maybe like coming up with the Black History Month next month.
Sure.
We're trying to figure out stuff what we can do with that, as well as just to empower and just to show off the diversity that Princeton really does have, and we all want to see.
Sure, sure. You know, you mentioned Black History Month, and Mr. Newton and the team at the high school, they put together so many great plans. And I know a lot of people are there working on that. So we're really excited to see that big calendar of event, but everyone's doing something in the district. And we know that, you know, for me, and I'm always letting everybody know exactly how I feel,
Exactly.
but it was always bothersome to me, to be honest with you, that February was like, okay, now it's February, so now we're going to talk about Black history, or, you know, now we're going to talk about Hispanic history, or now we're going to talk, why does it take certain months to get us to do it? Why can't we just embed it throughout what we do each and every day?
Especially going to a school so diverse. I feel like that's something that we would all appreciate if we get to all learn about each other every day of the school year.
Yeah. And I think highlighting it, sure, each month we're going to highlight it. There's going to be great contributions, but you know, I talked about this before, going to the Peach Bowl game. I stopped by and saw the Center for Civil and Human Rights, but it was closed, couldn't go there. But then went to Dr. Martin Luther King National Historic Park, which is unbelievable. And going through that whole process, seeing, you know, his big famous quote, "We will not be satisfied," and showed water coming down, and it was really, really powerful. But the "we will not be satisfied," I think that is the biggest thing that I continue to think about, because we're not going to be satisfied until justice.
Right.
We're not going to be satisfied until we actually truly have great equity.
Right.
And so I think your EPIC group and what you guys have done is amazing. And you want to talk about the advisors for a little bit?
Oh, so the advisors, we call them EPIC allies. They're teachers that we know for sure, like we can come to them and have these conversations with them. And we know that they also want to see things accomplished in the school as well. So they are just teachers that we know personally, that we know we can come to and we can talk to. And I'm excited for it to expand. Now,
what about Mr. You want to talk a little bit about Mr. Stevens and Mr. Wade?
So Mr. Stevens and Mr. Wade, I love them. They're amazing, but they were the, Stevens is who I actually Mr. Stevens actually who I went to like talk about this plan, because like I said, I've wanted to do something like this at Princeton for years, since 8th grade. And so my senior year is finally when I had Stevens as a teacher, and he kind of helped me progress that and make it a reality.
And Mr. Wade was supporting that?
Yes, he was this administration that did support it. And that's exciting because, you know, when you have somebody at every level that can help you push to actually get something done, that's amazing.
Well, and this is what I have to say about our administrative team at the high school. They all are so unbelievably supportive, led by Mr. Ballmer and Associate Principal, Ms. Stollard. But looking at what it is, it takes, so Mr. Wade took that on administratively as kind of a responsibility. He's really done a great job of that.
Amazing.
Mr. Stevens, I saw earlier this morning, working out, and we had a really nice talk, and he was so very proud of some of the aha moments that he saw. And so we're going to end this segment just for this, that EPIC is not a moment. It is a movement, and we're going to continue to support it the best that we possibly can. From our perspective, we know that the high schools has you, got you. Yeah.
And it was really amazing to see you there and see the rest of the council, more council members that were there. I wasn't expecting to see you there, so I was excited. Oh,
well, you know, once we found out about it, everybody wanted to go because it's something that, you know, we talk about. It's in our equity plan. Student voice, you know, is really important to each of us. So that's just wonderful. So, well, I think I see an awesome teacher here. Hi, Rachel. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
Tremendous. So we were talking behind your back, Rachel, and we were talking about social media, about how you're always posting stuff on social media. So from a teacher, well, first of all, talk to us a little bit about who you are, what you teach, how long you've been in teaching, and then talk as well about the importance of social media from your perspective.
Absolutely. So I'm Rachel Strom. I'm actually the remote kindergarten teacher this year here at Springdale, and this is my 3rd year of teaching. Now, previously, I was the Title I instructor, working specifically on reading and literacy. But the social media has been a really important role for teaching and collaborating just with teachers.
Rachel, I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's probably the rudest thing when you're in the middle of introducing yourself.
Hey, is this a Zoom bomb?
Yeah, this is a Zoom bomb, baby. We're here to Zoom bomb. So whatever you're talking about, we can wait. It sounds great. Yeah, can we bust in? It's okay to do this?
Yeah, sure. Come on in.
So
Rachel's like, what's going on?
Right? So that was Amanda who was talking there. I'm Jim, and we're here to Zoom bomb you because we have some huge news for you. You ready? This news is that you, Rachel, kindergarten teacher. And what's the school again? Springdale Elementary?
Yep.
Is that the greatest elementary school on the face of the planet?
It probably is.
It is, not even probably. You, Rachel Strom, you are the Warm 98. Well, we work at Warm 98.5, by the way. We do the morning show at Warm 98.5. You, Rachel Strom, are the Warm 98.5 Teacher of the Week this week. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
How does that little Zoom bomb feel?
Well, that is really surprising, and I'm definitely excited to go back and tell all my students that feel thank you, guys.
Here's the fun thing is every week Amanda and I, we get to do this. We send out, you know, our little birdies all over the tri-state. We're like, tell us about teachers who are cool. Tell us about teachers that are great, that have made an impact, a difference in your life. And we get back like tons and tons of responses. They're all completely different. I mean, some people talk about snacks. Some people talk about going outside and learning outside. Some people talk about compassion. Some people talk about just a million things, right? And the letters and the nomination letters are just the coolest thing. We love reading them. And we're glad we picked yours. Would you like to hear why you were nominated and why we thought you were so cool for this great award?
Absolutely.
Well, this is probably one of the most fantastic letters we have ever received in the history of us doing this. So it's amazing. Ms. Strom she makes online Zoom kindergarten the most pleasant, positive, constructive experience. Not for 1 minute did she make the tech or glitches or new method feel burdensome at all. She was also great at explaining all the tech to us parents, which is so important. She exudes warmth, easy connection, and depth of empathy, as well as the passion that comes through even the digital screen. She made each kid feel welcome from day one, attentively listens to each student, incorporates their passions into her lessons with intentionality. She expertly manages the attention of more than a dozen kindergarten kindergartners on a Zoom screen don't know how you do that. She leads with empathy and compassion and actively teaches mindfulness and self-compassion. She models self-acceptance and patient problem solving when she makes her own mistakes, and she articulates this in real time so the kids can see her process and recover, as she recovers from her own mistakes. Then she models how to do the same thing for them when they make a mistake. That is so important. She made time to set up Zoom play dates for the kids to meet up in small groups after class. This is what is super impressive. She coached them on small talk for the first few play dates, and then slowly removed herself as they grew in ability to have conversations with her coach without her coaching. She taught the class to respect the classmates to respect each other's beliefs patiently, and did a great job of emphasizing the awesomeness of their diversity in her class. She noticed every mood and would reach out if a student had a frustrating moment in class, and has excellent redirection, and also commended students for their many large and small achievements in a very genuine way that instilled confidence and respect. Having Ms. Strom's voice in my dining room each day has made my day brighter. She reminded all of us during a very tough season to do much of so much uncertainty that we can learn and grow and do hard things.
How about that?
Amazing.
Wow, that is very, very kind. And I feel very fortunate to have grownups that are so involved in our instruction daily, that have my support and they have their child's support. I mean, it's really been different this year in remote to have so much involvement that way, but it's been great. And that is such a sweet message to hear.
As a parent myself, I have a 6th grader, so he's much older than a kindergartner, but we've been remote learning this whole time. And I actually had to have a conversation with him. He asked me, he says, I don't remember how to interact with other kids. He totally freaked out, was very anxious, did not remember how to do those initial socializations that you clearly have picked up on as something that kids need to, keep working at. And that's just such a huge difference.
Rachel, if I could jump in here just for a second, not to call you out, but when you were talking about that, I felt the emotion. I think everybody did. And that's one of the things that I think separates good teachers from great teachers. The great teachers are the ones that understand not only are they teaching students and helping them learn and grow, but they're also supporting one of our greatest allies that we have, and those are parents. And it's so great. And just for a little levity, I understand that letter was written by one of your students. You're doing such a great job, Rachel, that one of the students wrote the letter, which is amazing.
It's a big word.
Huge letter.
Larissa Howell wrote the letter, and just obviously, I'm sure she speaks for the whole class. Wow. So just real quick, when we were so rude and interrupted you, and you were talking about, I don't even know what you're talking about. But I heard you say that you've taught for 3 years. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm currently in my 3rd year of teaching.
So in the 3 years, obviously the end of last year and this year, completely different than the first year and a half. What has been, I'm not going to ask the biggest challenge, but the most rewarding part of that time?
The most rewarding part is seeing the students get excited as I am. Teaching is one thing, but making my students enjoy and get that intrinsic motivation to continue learning is what I want from every student. So this year I've dressed up as Spider-Man. Anything I can do to get them as excited about their education as I am, that's what I want to see. And when I see that reaction, even through Zoom, that's what keeps me going.
That's cool. Well,
today you're dressed up too, right? As a warm 98 teacher of the week, right?
Congratulations. By the way, you will get a fantastic certificate to place in your wall so you can brag to the world about it. Also, this is all sponsored by our great friends at Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. They're going to get you a $50 gift card for Raising Cane's. So go get you some Texas toast, some chicken fingers, all that stuff, and a $50 gift card to Benkin Florist Home and Garden. We were just there the other day. They have a great selection of houseplants right now because it's middle of winter. So if you're looking for houseplants, they got great houseplants there, but then in the springtime, obviously, lots of greats. They have great floral arrangements and stuff. So congratulations.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it so much.
Hey, Princeton, thanks for letting us bust in on the Zoom call.
Yes, thank you.
That was fun.
Yes.
Take care. God bless you.
Yep, you too.
Guys.
Thank you, Form 98. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, so Rachel, before we did the Zoom bomb, we actually did want to know about the importance of, honestly, the importance of social media. Well, I knew that was coming. It was so fun. Thanks to Mrs. Roddy for setting that up. Mrs. Tim Barge for being part of the surprise, which is awesome. So Rachel, social media, you were just getting ready to talk about the importance of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Social media has been a big part of my planning and altering curriculum to meet the needs of the students. You get to see different creative resources from teachers among the district, but all across the nation. And I think that's the best part, is really stealing those ideas from someone else and incorporating them to meet your students. And I think too, with being remote as a teacher, you're losing that connection. So having that support through, say, Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, it really is helpful. And I think just continuing to use that, get those ideas, and make everyone excited at the same time.
That's great. That's great. So Rachel, we're going to give you an opportunity to leave us with how you feel empowered as a teacher at Springdale. And, obviously huge awards. You have great teammates there. It's, as there time to time, I would like to pop into all the classrooms and be a little bit disruptive. I try not to be too disruptive, but that's been something that I certainly have missed. But the team at Springdale, and of course the leadership, all that stuff, I know you feel empowered. So talk a little bit about how you specifically feel empowered.
I think I speak for all the employees at Springdale Elementary, but we are so fortunate to have Lisa Tenbarge as our principal, who knows and understands that we need to meet the needs of all of our students. And Lisa will do anything to support us as teachers to get in and support our students. So I think we're all very empowered to have a leader who really understands what we're trying to do as educators, and especially during this time with coronavirus. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Lisa Tenbarge.
Well, and she echoes that right back to you. And I know she's so proud of you. What a great hire you've been for our districts and specifically for our students. Congratulations on the Warm 98. Ornella, any thoughts? I bet you wish you would have had a teacher like that, huh?
Honestly, if I could go back to kindergarten right now, I would, just so you can be my teacher.
That's great. Well, thanks for joining us. And we're going to pop over to another couple segments. So stay tuned. I'm just taking a moment right now to see if I'm able to share my screen. Here we go. Thank you so much. And so obviously we had this great fifth grader to start us off. That was wonderful. Giselle, again, just as a reminder of me accepting this really large check, which is amazing, $150,000.
Amazing.
And we literally, that closed the gap. We have anybody that needs connectivity, just as a reminder, if you don't have it, all you need to do is call us, get a hold of your principal, your teacher, call us at the central office. We'll take care of it for you. The same goes true for devices. And we're really, really close to being able to officially say grades 3 through 12. Right now we're grades 6 through 12. Very soon it's going to be 3 through 12. And we're looking at even some of the younger students as well. So again, we just feel like it's really important to continue to partner and get some of those gifts. We talked about the Scholastics Art winners, and these are some of the pictures, but look at this beautiful picture. This is amazing. And this is what Jordan got recognized for. And again, we're excited about the recognition coming up. This is a Springdale, Springdale Elementary School, National Distinguished School. This is the epic, and this was yesterday. It was really important. And when you think about being epic, and here are the great student participants, and then Mr. Jordan Stevens on the left-hand side there, and Mr. Dan Wade on the right. And these were the staff members that were part of it. And this is actually, I believe, right at the very end, when you were almost in tears, standing ovation.
I was just shocked by the response. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, and it was almost simultaneously. It was second. I think a couple people stood up, and then everybody. It was amazing. Excuse me. And then Warm 98.5, Teacher of the Week. But this is something that I want to talk a little bit about right now, and this express feedback for good. So if you're watching, get your phone out. Ornella, you have a phone?
Over there. Can I go grab it?
Yeah,
Alrighty.
let's go. We're gonna lead by example.
So I got it.
Okay, so now it's gonna text PCSD. PCSD. And you're gonna send that to 31996.
31996.
Sent. And what Ornella's gonna get back is a survey, and she's gonna fill out a profile.
Okay.
Very quick. They don't share information with anybody.
Alrighty.
Now, you're going to have an opportunity to review 75 different companies or whatever, all kinds. You go shopping ever?
Yeah.
Every once in a while?
Every once in a while.
So say just hypothetically you went to Kohl's
Okay.
in the last 3-4 months.
Mhm.
You could find Kohl's on there. Takes probably less than a minute
Mhm.
to fill out the survey.
Okay.
You're like, okay, well, why are we doing this, Mr. Burton?
Well, why are we doing this, Mr. Burton?
Well, let me tell you. So when you do this, we get $2 back as a donation to the district. Now, we can make up to $50,000 just by doing this.
Wow.
And when you look at something like this is huge,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to do this. Last year, we raised $37,000. The goal this year is 50.
Alrighty.
So I'm not saying you have to do all 75 today, Ornella, but if you got to start on it, that'd be good.
I got you.
Okay. All
I
right.
got us.
You got us. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. And again, when we look at this program and we're making sure that, we talk about equity, and we have, I don't know exactly how many languages that's been translated into, but we do know that if you need this to be translated, if we can help you, we'll try to find the great people at Express Feedback for Good that will certainly support that. This is an easy fundraiser for our district. And think about this. How much work and effort would you have to do to raise $150 for us? And when you think about the amount of time and effort, but this way you could spend, it would be less than 2 hours, and you're going to be able to raise $150 for us. And we're going to be able to put that directly to closing some of the gaps, the COVID gaps. So we're going to put it for summer school, some mental health. We're going to be able to do all kinds of great things with the money. So hopefully everybody already grabbed their phone and already started typing. Just a couple of very quick things, and we're going to get right to my favorite part of the show. Siakam Speaks. The COVID-19 vaccination, there's been a whole bunch of conversation about that. Now we're getting more and more information. We're getting more and more information on the vaccine. But just as a reminder, in our community, this is what we're doing. We have the City of Springdale Health Department, and obviously Springdale Elementary School and Heritage Hill are within Springdale. They have been able to arrange a vaccination program to start next Friday for those two schools. So thank you very much, Matt Clayton and Amy Ellis and all the great people at Springdale for making that happen. The rest of the district is covered through Hamilton County Public Health. And outside of Cincinnati Public, all the other schools are going to start taking if they choose to do the vaccination, start taking part in that probably the week after next. Now, we'll find out today, 12:30, I believe, exactly when that would happen. So stay tuned for more information, but just know that any teacher, any employee in the district that wants to get vaccinated can get vaccinated. They're making that available, which I think really helps everybody. And as we hopefully transition back March 1st with the Scarlet and Gray students all coming back together. Again, the goal is March 1st, but we still have some things to work out. So it may be a little bit later, but the goal is March 1st. But coming back together is really important. And I think for parents to know that, teachers and staff, many of them will have participated in the vaccination program. I think that should really provide a lot of encouragement and support and alleviate any fears that you may have. So more information will be forthcoming on that. And just as a reminder, we're going to have a parent community question and answer next Thursday. And that will be Facebook Live, and that'll be at 6:30 p.m. And I know there's going to be lots of questions that we're going to take, but we're going to provide a lot of information on how that's going to look. And I just want to reassure everybody We are 5 weeks out from March 1st. That is a long, long time. Now, we know in life, 5 weeks can go like this.
Yes.
But right now, as we're talking, there's some things that we have to work out, and we're working really hard. We have great staff here that work nonstop, trying to anticipate problems, anything that may happen. So we're going to work. There'll be plenty of communication, as we always have. There'll be plenty of opportunity to give any input, but ultimately, stay tuned next Thursday, and it's going to be Facebook Live at 6:30. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. The week after that, February 9th, we have yet another one of our parent community educational series. Ornella, what do you think about us as a district reaching out to parents and trying to help support them?
I think it's amazing that the district does so much to get parent input and use that in terms of like the decision that they make for the school. Like even with the whole remote hybrid program, I know that for sure there was a lot of parent input in that too. So I think that's amazing.
Yeah, so the parent educational series, we've listened to parents.
Mm-hmm.
We have a key communicators group. We listen to them, some of their concerns. Mrs. Roddy has worked with many other people too to get some input. So this next series is tween and teen use of vaping, drugs, and alcohol. It's February 9th, and we're, again, partnering with other people. It's not just us talking.
Mm-hmm.
And like the last episode we had, which was on implicit bias, which is amazing, and it was Catrice Kate who did that, which is one of our partners that we use, and that was simply amazing. Simply amazing. All right, and then lastly, before we get into Siakam Speaks, is our business community partnership virtual program, which will be on February 10th, 8:15. Please attend. We have students. We're going to do breakout rooms. We have some presentations, musical performance. It's going to be something that's going to be really, really nice. It's not like it was before, unfortunately. And hopefully before the end of the year, we'll be able to socially distance, come back in, come together, work with people, have our students interact with business and community leaders. That's the way it was intended. So hopefully that will happen. So without further ado, I'm off the screen. I'm gonna leave it to my co-host, Ornella Siakam.
So today I'm gonna perform a snippet of a poem that I did perform yesterday at our epic presentation. It's titled, it was actually one of my competition poems. There we go.
1 second, I've done share.
Okay, so I'm gonna perform the poem that I actually did perform yesterday at our epic presentation, and just a small snippet of it. And it goes, battle scars from the battlefield, but only cause he not correction. I've been working the way master feels, and for the mass appeal, they say you reap what you sow, but what I sow is not my yield, and my lips are sealed. Man, I've got so much to say, but who's going to listen? I'm only a slave, enslaved, slave to this way of life, slave to their mentality, slave to this never-ending question of morality. Like, is it right? Is it wrong? Could they ever right their wrongs? Wish that I could right my rights and wrongs, but I can't even write for real. My life is not my own for real. Asked if I survive for real. Pistol whipping, cops is killing, hide your children, men and women slowly losing, and we can't even be black for real. See.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You know, Ornella, when you continue with the poem yesterday, I know I looked around and you can see just the faces. And, you know, it's one of the things to me that I'm most proud of is the fact that we continue to allow people to find their own way to express themselves, but we need to do it more.
Right.
And it can't just stop. And, you know, the words you chose when you gave that great performance last year or the year before when you were recognized and all that, we just so look forward to Siakam Speaks. And the next one, can I give you a challenge?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm up for a challenge.
All right. So the next one, let's do something. I want you to do your voice, okay? But maybe how you feel about things that have happened in general all around this pandemic. You've talked about one pandemic,
Okay.
right? The whole inequity and whatever,
Mhm.
but the other pandemic. But if that's not in your heart, no worries.
The
But if-
COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
right? Because to me, and the COVID pandemic is horrific. There's no question. It's been around for a very short period of time. The other pandemic, which has been the injustice, the inequity, the inequality, the racism and all that has permeated our country for centuries.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever you want to do, I said it was going to all be you.
Yeah.
But as you were talking, it's just so powerful. And I was just like, what's your opinion on what's happening with this global pandemic? Be interesting anyway. So, Renelle, you have any closing thoughts?
I am really just appreciative of Princeton and how open it is to hear and listen to student voice. I mean, you've got a senior as a co-host, so I really am appreciative for the opportunity in the district.
Well, thank you very much. And of course, we have great leaders in this district in all of our buildings and central office in the departments. This morning at 4:30 in the morning, John Fricky, Director of Operations, we were talking about what's going on the roads. Todd Cutel and his great team, they were out making sure that it was going to be safe around all the schools, and they've been working so hard. We have a great team here. We all stick together. And one of the things that Ornella loves to say at the end of this episode, and of course, as always,
Go Vikes!